Actually, one more thing before we render is one thing that's very important. I'm going to bring back the render settings and go back to Common tab. Before you start your render, always check to see where the frames are going. Okay. Even now, even though we're the last couple weeks of school, I'm still seeing some students in both my classes that are still having file management trouble. So always be sure you know where all your files are going. So in this case, it's to the project folder that I've set, and I've already rendered these out, so I already have them there. But as you can see, if I click up here, this path is this path. So this is where all of your files are going to go when they render. Okay. Since mine already rendered, I'm not going to render again, but I will show you what menu option you need to go to in order to start your render. So you would need to go into your rendering menu set and then go to render and then just hit batch render. Okay, you don't need to go in the option box. There's really nothing there for us to tweak anyway. Just hit batch render, and then look for this this black bar, usually in the lower right corner of Maya, and you should see white text that tells you the progress, and then when it's finished it'll say the render completed, and once it's completed then you can go into your folder and then you should be able to see all your images. After rendering is complete, I usually just save my scene one last time, and I'm going to go ahead and save it with the naming convention I want you guys to use. So I'm going to call this I'm going to go last name underscore first name underscore your model type, which will be either Leprechaun or APC. Hit save as. And once it's saved, then immediately afterwards go to File, Archive Scene. And when it finishes archiving, we should see a message here. So sometimes it takes a little longer. And there it is. Okay, so once you see this result message to confirm that you have a zip file that was created, then you have a ready to turn in Maya scene. When rendering is complete, first go to the folder where the image is rendered out to. In this case it's this one here, and first thing we want to do is delete frame 0, because it doesn't always happen. I've had it happen off and on, not sure exactly the cause. But sometimes the very first frame comes out brighter than the rest, so just to prevent that from happening to you, delete frame 000. That's kind of a throwaway frame anyway. So as long as you have all your frames from frame 1 to 144, then everything's fine. We're just going to go ahead and delete frame quadruple 0. So deleting now. Yes. And next thing to do is we want to be able to just paste this location, this path name, into Photoshop so we can easily get at these files. So the easiest way to do that is just click in this empty space to the right, and you'll see that it gives you this more traditional path name, and it should already be highlighted. I'm going to go ahead and hit Control C to copy. After doing so, you can minimize this folder, go to File, Open, and it's already set here, but if yours is not set, then Control V to paste that full path into the file name and hit open, and it will take you to the folder. And once you're in the correct folder, just choose that first frame, which is 001. And the important thing for these sequential images is you need to check the box for image sequence. If you do not check this, it just brings in that first frame. Since we want all these frames in the entire animation, you have to check this box. After doing so, click open. And we are using 24 FPS. This is the default in Maya that was set up, so we're going to use it again here. Okay. And here is our rendered product. Okay, so what we need to do in order to get this out as a video file, and also a better quality video than anything we can get out of Maya, at least without some more powerful codecs, is if we go into the Photoshop File menu, go to the Export, Render Video. Okay, so File, Export, Render Video. And from here, I'm going to select the folder. It took me a little while to actually navigate to the full path because it's using it's not somewhere where you can copy and paste the path. It's something where you have to kind of click through the entire directory structure. It's kind of a pain, but it's the only thing that you can use here. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a name. So the naming convention I want you guys to use is last name, first name, and then just call it either Leprechaun or APC. I'll call it Leprechaun, and that's going to be the name. It's going to be a MOV file. Okay, so it's going to be a QuickTime movie. And the quality, I think I've already set this from before, so it might not be what's default. So let's take a quick look at what's under the settings. So the settings, and then in here under movie settings, settings again. Okay, and the compression type, I would use animation. That's a pretty good quality codec, so use compression type animation. Okay, and this should all be as you see it here, and I believe I set this to be best because you want this to be high quality. We don't want to see any banding or compression artifacts, so we'll set this to the highest quality. And also the depth, this should be default, but millions of colors plus, and everything else should be this just default. We're going to click OK, and we don't need to worry about any of these other things. Just click OK. And down here in range, just all frames, so that every frame that got loaded in will also render. And all of this stuff just keep default. Okay, so the only things we really changed were giving it a specific name. You can always do this, after you create it. If you forget to name it here, you can always name it in Windows. Be sure you select the folder. That's probably the most important thing. And then just to get it to be the best possible quality, we just look through the settings, made sure it was animation, and set quality to best. Okay, so just a few changes that we needed there. And after that, just hit render, and I'll just let it go.